It's a lot of money, why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get, too bad, my bad. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. I cop a car, I run it back. Go yo, then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello, that's the jag calling. Let me click over real quick to let my jag talk it. I eat it, ooh, Pac-Man, that's the way my neck talking. Right, I ain't never coming back the way the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack, my bad, but I'm past that. But a NASDAQ, that's cash. When the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go, you don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab brown man. When it come back, I'ma give back my bad. When the check hit, the direct hit. I'm glad when the check missed the direct hit. I'm sad like, who's that knocking at my window? They say that it's the money, I'm like tenfold. Over and out. That's gon' make you up like a limbo. She said she not a, she an. Why you do that like that? It's a lot of money, why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get, too bad, my bad.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jonathan Coachman, and this is Super.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Baltimore Ravens taking on the NFC champions. So here come the Ravens now, ready to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by the final pick of the first round in 2018 out of Louisville. It's Lamar Jackson. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. With a first touchdown of this Super Bowl, and a long one at that, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. So a long play for our first points in the Super Bowl.
No doubt about it, and what we see here is something that we saw all year long from them. The ability to strike from anywhere on the field. How about the way they got it started in this one?
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, a long touchdown pass into the end zone. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Wilson, the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. We thought this defense would be opportunistic, and they were. Here, you're already up. Now you got a 2-touchdown lead. I tell you, going out there on defense, did they have a little bit of extra momentum with a score already on the board?
Oh, without a doubt. That already felt good to them. They took it and used it and obviously put up another one. But here's the thing now. Some defense coordinators might want to pull their guys back a little bit because they don't want them to make mistakes because they're too overamped. Others say, I've got 2-touchdown lead. Go get them, guys. They'll be even more aggressive.
Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's Carson. Now Carson fumbles the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
This is taken at the 18. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I can't help it. Every time I see Eric Berry make a play, as we just saw him make a tackle there, I just want to stand up and applaud.
Because he went to Tennessee like you?
Well, that doesn't hurt one bit, but how about the comeback? I mean, he came back from beating cancer and getting back to Pro Bowl level, one of the best players in the game.
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance. At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage and make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
It's complete to Snead. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
And he stopped immediately there. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. And they'll try the jet sweep here. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
Here's Snead as they run the jet sweep. And after all that, he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal. So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. Now it's Jackson. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Seth Roberts there to make the grab as the Ravens push further out in front. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl as the Ravens push further out in front. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the 2nd quarter. They're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's 2 sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change the way he lines up, put him in motion. anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to have a third down. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. He'll buy some time right. He can run for it, and he will. So no sack. He gets back to the line.
But there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says...
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football.
There goes Mark Ingram. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Mark Ingram, 93 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So their backs were against the wall, deep back in their own territory, and they run it all the way down into the end zone.
That takes a lot of coordination for an offensive team, doesn't it? Because, let's face it, it's really not a surprise that they're going to run the ball in that situation. Backed up that close to their own end zone, usually do call running plays, trying to be safe. Instead, it turns into an electrical run, a bolt for your team, and off he goes to the races.
And they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. So they hit the ball before it went 10 yards. I know that's tough, but you got to stay disciplined.
It is difficult because you're so eager to go get the football. It's that type of a play, but you're exactly right. You have to have the discipline to let it go 10 first.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now a toss play. It's Carson. And he gets it down to the 32. 7 yards there and a first down. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. From the 29, Wilson. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. On 3rd and 1, Wilson. Well, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously, one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit a partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through. Come on now, let's go.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go.
It's a foot race. 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown with his 3rd touchdown of this Super Bowl as his guys continue to pour it on. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the second quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, it's Wilson. He's got his target. It's the tight end, Tyler Higbee. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing again here, Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The 330-pounder Al Woods brings the boom on the sack. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? So we've reached halftime here in Super Bowl 55. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. Thus far, this Super Bowl has looked less like a contest and more like a coronation. And to call the second half, let's get it right back out to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams ready after the halftime spectacle, and we are back underway in Super Bowl 55. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's Russell Wilson in the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, well, get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little, kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. To throw again on second down, Wilson. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
It's a pickup of 11 at a Baltimore first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is. to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Hollywood Marquise Brown with a record 4th Super Bowl touchdown tonight. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Tucker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And he will find his man on the outside. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a 1st down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
52 the mark, 52. Go, go, go.
From the 39, Wilson, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 28.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. This is Carson. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Matt Judon there to bring him down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson, that's complete. It's Gordon.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. They run it with Carson. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, here's Penny. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. It's caught, Rocket. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. They'll try to run with Carson. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks are able to at least knock this deficit down a bit.
That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
My old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A little jet sweep to start the drive. Shrugs off another. He'll have a first down past the 40 and all the way up to the 45-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss, but with the college influence, we're seeing more of these plays come into the NFL.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Now Jackson, he's going deep. It's caught inside the 25. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, 55 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Got a man, that's Rashard Higgins. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Let's go.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Here's Snead as they run the jet sweep. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Now the pass brought in by Roberts. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant, A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
But that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Jackson, and that going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's the bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. Yeah, he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today, coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
On 2nd and 10, Wilson. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 30, and he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, but now it's 3rd down.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Got a man. It's Brown. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about it.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. Kind of surprised they accept the penalty.
The only thing that comes to mind for me is they want to move them back 5 yards because they feel good about their defense. But in most situations, you take the down. That's what counts more.
This pass complete to Higgins. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty. And it's all over. Just one is left standing, and that one is the Baltimore Ravens, your Super Bowl champions. For the victors, getting to hoist that Lombardi trophy, you know, we've talked to guys that have done it, and they say there's no better feeling in sports.
I don't know how there can be. The journey to get to this game is incredible. And then to finally break through and win it when all eyes are on this game alone because there's nothing else going on, that's just got to be absolutely amazing. The task, incredible. But the accomplishment, forever.